Sharon Soltis, S-O-L-T-I-S, S-P-A-R-A-N-O. First, I just want to say that I believe I have a right to speak for 3 minutes if you would, for the reasons that I do not live in Archbald, but I live in Lackawanna County in Macomb, and I pay taxes to Lackawanna County. And with the reassessment, we all know we are a unit of municipalities with our taxes. Plus, I'm on the electrical grid. Do I have 2 or 3 minutes?
Yes. You don't have any entitlement, but I'm going to give it to you.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to repeat everything everyone said because they're fantastic. They've covered everything. My issue is, I was a councilwoman in Troop and a council president in Troop for 4 years. We dealt with the Keystone landfill. I know all about zoning, too much. So what I'm going to tell you is, the zoning that you have there with that overlays, it is absolutely not protected for Archbald. It is designated and set up for a legal challenge for 4 to 6 data centers. That is a fact. So, my situation that I want to tell you is, we had about 140 acres locked in with our zoning to keep the landfill Keystone. And it was kept no matter what. And I was in Williamsport Court for 2 weeks. When it got changed by the new council to open that up, it is now 914 acres of active landfill garbage dumping. So you can keep a restriction. You can have something zoned and allow it, but keep it controlled. When you do overlays and you allow R3 to give you a data center and then commercial, industrial 1 or 2, you have just opened it all up. And the lawyers for the data centers will eat you alive in court. You restrict it and keep your community in check, or you give it up. That map, you just given it all up. Now the other thing is the electrical grid. Everybody started getting these crazy increases for a year and a half now. That's because of that cogen plant. They keep making the electricity coming out of the Aside methane from Keystone landfill. And the tax situation. It cost $160 million for the Aside gas plant sitting on the Troop section of the Keystone landfill to be built December of 2021. The reassessment, $335,000. You think these data centers are going to be taxed where it's going to reduce the burden to the whole Lackawanna County or to Archbald? It's not going to happen. You are going to pay more so they can make more money. They're going to call it clean energy. They'll get massive federal tax credits, and they'll get all of the reduction because it's going to be called, just like Pat Tobin said in Lackawanna County assessment, chattel. Non-taxable property. It's considered like an automobile. You will all get it. It's going to happen to every single data center that comes up here. So don't let anybody tell you this is going to help with taxes. It won't. And the electrical grid, forget it. Our electrical prices are going to just keep going up because it's a shared unit. So thank you for allowing me the time.
Marilyn Jones, Jones, 127 South Cougar Drive. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak here. Everyone that spoke before me, I have to commend them. They were all correct in everything that they said, and they did. I do not have a child in Valley View School District, but I have grandchildren, and I love them. And for God's sakes, I wouldn't do anything in the world to hurt them by any means. You are our elected officials. We elected you. How did this get so far? How could you have done this? Realistically, would you do it to your own child? Maybe you did, if you're here. You know a data center right next to the Highlands. And I don't live in the Highlands, I live close, but I don't live there. How could you do that? How could you have allowed this? No excuses. that I didn't know when we did this. I didn't know. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. We elected you. We elected you to know this. How, in good conscience, could you
Approve it.
continue to let this go? How could you do that? It's embarrassing to the community, and it must be embarrassing to you. Now, can you answer one question? I know this isn't, a question and answer thing. We're not allowed to ask a question, but is that data center that's supposed to be going up by the Highlands, is that a done deal? Can anybody answer that?
Your question needs to go to council at a council meeting. The purpose, your public input tonight is with respect to this ordinance. That's the
So
forum
up
here.
till today, from what I'm gathering, if you cannot, our elected officials, excuse me, answer that question.
They can answer that question, but it's not relevant to what we're here for tonight.
I have 34 seconds and I won't go over time. But
At the
I
beginning,
just
wait.
think everybody needs to see this and realize what's going on.
I just think it's important for everyone to understand, at the beginning of this public hearing, I explained that the reason for the amendment is because the current ordinance allows data centers in specific zones which we articulated by right, meaning if they meet the current zoning requirements, they're able to go in there without any conditional use from the council, without complying with these additional standards testified to by Manila. So if a property owner has a district in which a data center is a principal permitted use, they're entitled to have that as long as they can comply with the existing zoning ordinance. The reason for this amendment is for the council to further define data centers, to give the council more control to address the concerns that you're raising as a conditional use, meaning that any prospective developer has to come in and ask the council for permission and a conditional use. They don't get it by right. There has to be another public hearing with the conditional use application. That's the reason for this ordinance. And I'm not trying to be evasive with you, but I'm trying to tell you that the reason that we're here is to take your input on the amendment, not whether data centers are good, bad, or indifferent, not whether existing applications are proper or properly submitted or not. The point of this hearing is to accept your input as to whether the council should or should not amend the existing ordinance to make data centers conditional uses in specific areas.
But can you answer just one thing? Why do some communities like Lakely are able to stop it and we can't?
It's not a question of, I can't answer anything for another community, ma'am. I can tell you under the law, if there's a principal permitted use, and we don't let someone with a principal permitted use that principal permitted use for no reason other than we don't want it, no, you can't legally do that.
So now everyone, just to know, we have to go to the rest of all of the meetings that they have.
Yes.
We
Oh,
have
yes.
to, even on a football night.
Yes. Yes.
Please, for God's sake, think of what's
Okay,
really
right.
more important. Thank you, my 3 minutes.
You're welcome.
Carolyn.
Yes,
Name and
okay,
address.
sure, okay. Carolyn Mizanti, that's Mizanty, 834 Chestnut Street, Hyman, Pennsylvania, 24. All right, thank you. Thank you to the council for listening to our concerns, and I hope you will take them seriously. And also, thank you for this entire audience for coming out and supporting this cause. Very grateful for that, and everybody has spoken such great words. This is one of the most consequential, important zoning decisions for a community, but it's also one of the easiest decisions to make if you're guided by the principles and values that support the long-term health and well-being of our community. As residents, we are fighting for the quality of our lives, and the data center developers are fighting for their money. The basic meaning of zoning is to regulate land use within a specific area to promote public health, safety, and general welfare. It must be handled with care and intelligence to create a well-balanced community and abide by the community's needs. Allowing for the additional overlays is abandoning sound zoning principles and degrades the quality of our life. This rezoning will result in our entire community being encircled by data centers. The earlier presenters can talk about the best practices and make it look really shiny and talk about setbacks and talk about lighting control. But the bottom line is that we're going to have potentially 6 hyperscale data centers, which are a liability for our entire town. It has been well documented scientifically that data centers are indeed a liability to the community. It involves environmental damage, a strain on local resources, and a negative quality of life impacts, and a poor return on investment for the public health. I think everybody already knows this from all the previous speakers, but they also require a massive amount of water per day, 5 million gallons per day, massive amount of energy use. One data center, hyperscale, can use up to the same amount of energy as Orlando, Florida, which would include the homes, the businesses, and the airport. We're also talking about light pollution. Bright continuous lighting for security can disrupt the night sky and interfere with the lives of nearby residents and local ecosystems. One of the biggest concerns that we have is noise pollution, and I do believe this should come under intense scrutiny and focus. The data center cooling systems, fans, and transformers generate a constant low-frequency hum or drone that can travel for miles. This persistent noise is linked to health problems, including stress, migraines, and disrupted sleep. The noise issue is a very, very big deal for our area because currently our local ordinance does not have it written into it about lowest frequency decibels, which can travel for miles.
You're gonna have to wrap it up.
Okay, if you clearly know that these, for all of these negative effects, why would we be even having this conversation tonight? When you also know that all we need to do is accept one data center. I'm asking the council to put one data center, since we need to accept just one, in a safe area, away from the parks, away from our schools, and away from residents. We are at a critical turning point right now in terms of needing to take action to address climate change and the rapid decline of species driven by human activities. More data centers equal more habitat destruction, more fracking, more gas-fired power plants, more power lines, more carbon emissions,
Okay,
and
your
more.
time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Who's next?
Mr. Swingle.